Hello, welcome to Unknown from the Most Likely. I'm Donnie Crashbones of Bone Crate and such other collaborations. Today we have a special guest, Krys Marshal of Absurd Reality. He also does other projects and basically sorry about last week. We're just gonna kind of tell you guys about last week. We are going to basically be back with doing more regular scheduled programming. We're going to be eventually getting with Bound Cloud, but yeah, here we're going to be getting with Krys Marshal of
How's it going?
How's it going? How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Another day, another day.
That's great. That's great. So, so far, this year has basically been a crazy, tragic shit show. Otherwise, do you have any kind of thoughts of good stuff of this year, such as music
Well,
wise? Anything like
yeah, I think this year's actually, especially since it seems like the pandemic's kind of slowed down and everybody's kind of started coming back out. A lot of good shit's been coming out. Everybody's been staying busy, and especially over the summer and kind of the summer ending and moving into fall. It seems like everybody kind of even more got busier. So there's been some good stuff coming out, from myself and from other people.
yeah, awesome, man. So like for the genres and like if you've been like listening to like the shit you've grown up with, like what was before noise? What were you listening to, man? Like
Well,
what would you be saying like in your top five?
top five bands, period, or
Yeah,
top
yeah.
five noise.
Period. Let's top five bands, period. Let's go with that.
Okay, okay. Well, just throw it out. Fucking top five. Number one's always gonna be Nine Inch Nails. I know it. They're
Amen.
they're mainstream. I know, but he's worked hard over the years, and they've always put out very very good stuff. A lot of people kind of find them repetitive, especially after like maybe the Fragile or uh, with Teeth or something like that. But especially over the past couple of years when they put out Locust and Ghost, like the double album, that was all instrumental, and that was just a fucking amazing release. And but
Oh, that is now. I'm
uh,
actually the funny thing is you say Nine Inch Nails. I'm actually in a Nine Inch Nails tribute band called Halo '99, and with some
okay,
other people.
okay,
Um, Shout out to the band,
fuck
everybody
yeah.
in
I
Halo
had to check that
'99.
out, man. Y'all got anything like out, or is it just like
Yeah, we actually they actually mostly I would have to message you more about that later, but
okay?
yes, we do actually have I do have like a one track that I did drums, and he actually put some of my like most of the parts like I was like nailing down. I don't know what it was the track, but I think I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
Okay. Yeah, man, do that.
otherwise,
I like to hear that.
for
It's awesome.
for like literally the music and the noise connection, what it was for like out of that top five, what comes
Out of the
from
top five
that
in noise, it
in,
just
in noise in in the basically where in that comes from the music where like you listen to, for the music you listen to. Was there any noise, any feedback that was ever used in any of the tracks and stuff
yeah.
that is
I mean,
want to get
you can
deeper?
listen to a lot of, especially like Nine Inch Nails from probably from like the Downward Spiral up until the mid 2000s stuff. You can listen to a lot of it, and there's like chunkiness and actually, a lot of power electronics and fucking noise in the background. They just, put a lot of they put so much into their music. You got to kind of pick it out from each time to what you're listening to. So but they'll use a lot of stuff, and then I liked a lot of Ministry. They used a lot of, maybe not so much in their early days, but And I mean, like in from fucking goddamn Rape of the Land or whatever it was, and up until like Psalm 69 and New World Order. I mean, that was pretty much noise just mixed with thrash or speed rock.
Yeah, yeah.
And then fucking, I mean, I knew about like electronic, like, but it was all stuff that was more beat orientated, like, you know, like
Yeah.
Bile or fucking Skinny Puppy or shit like
Yeah,
that.
good old.
Lord's
Yeah,
Acid.
yeah. Lords of Acid is my friend's favorite fucking band. He was like showing me like that a lot. You
They
know,
put
he's
out a
that
lot of
new.
stuff, man. I've got probably like fucking
Yeah.
15 albums of theirs from just like the 90s up. So, I mean, and then, I mean, but pretty much like my introduction into noise that, I mean, nowadays, I mean, I still listen to a variation of everything, but I don't know, I have found like noise is so expansive. You can pretty much do anything you want with it. I mean, you obviously have like people that don't want to, you know, they think it should only be a certain way as far as what you're doing, but I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of the whole thing about this kind of music. I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. I mean, so that's kind of been like the main attraction, I guess you would say, since I've found it. Just the different stuff in different types of emotions you can put into. You can put like if you're depressed or having some other kind of, you know, issue like that, or you know, just pissed off or fucking happy as hell, nice and stoned. Put that into a good song, and so I mean, that's been, and I mean, it's not that I kind of feel not necessarily that I guess traditional music has gotten stale, but it got is when you listen to that for, you know, your entire life, and then you find something new. That's kind of like, you know, when I found like extreme metal in the first place, which is, you know, probably around mid '90s when you found early death metal and early black metal and stuff like that. It was something fresh, so it kind of appealed to you more. It was something that was being done that hadn't been done before, and that was pretty much like what the main attraction was to electronic or extreme electronics. It was just the the freshness of it to me. I know it's been
Right.
around forever, but you know, since I
Yeah.
found it, it's only
I remember my introduction was like mainly Merzbow, and then it kind of got deeper than that,
yeah,
and it was like, you know, I was always like hearing it all over the place, like in hardcore, but then there was like a lot of other shit I was hearing in, like I was hearing in Nirvana also. So like it was one of like the things, and I still do enjoy listening to Nirvana no matter what. It just has to have like, like the elements that they still you enjoy and appreciate. You just can't really remake Nirvana ever again. So
no, yeah, yeah, there's, I mean, there's always been bands, I mean, that are one time, and you know, there will never be another one like that. I mean,
yeah,
so I
exactly.
mean, if you can appreciate that in any kind of music, then I think you can pretty much appreciate any kind of music as far as like that style of music.
So for the your no for the noise, what has been some like noise that have been like, more like leading you more and more and more into like deeper into starting your project?
Well, okay, like I said, I mean, I do know all the, you know, the big names that, you know, you find when you first get into it. You know, obviously like A-Tracks, and then his
Yeah, yeah.
his other products, and then fucking Cold
Bastard
Meat
noise,
Industry. Sorry.
bastard noise. Do you remember? Everybody knows about.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
actually,
about
I did one split with him. I never talked to him. How it was like done through B, Basement Corner Emissions. Shout out. But
bastard.
he kind of, I guess they got in touch with each other and they wanted to do a split. But yeah, he's done some. I listened to a couple of the ones he did with Merzbow the other day, and I mean that was good. He does a lot of like big names, like works with a lot of good people.
Hey, I'm a huge fan. I've been always a huge fan of everything Eric Wood does. Um, seriously, I like looked up like everything about. I know I grew up with listening to Man is a Bastard, and I listened to Dystopia, Crom, um, what
Yeah,
else? No, of course, Spaz. And then it goes a little crossed out. That's another one. Infest is a huge one I've listened to. I love Infest, but like I love all of those. All those put into one thing. It's just like it sounds more beautiful like listening to because like you listen to the stuff now. It's all influenced by that shit now. Stuff in like the power violence scene, stuff in the
yeah.
hardcore stuff. It's
And
all influenced.
that's another one I've kind of gotten into or at least here lately. I mean, I've never really listened to like a lot of the stuff like even the one you told me about, Limbs Ben. I kind of been getting into them here. I got a couple of theirs downloaded. I mean, I like that just that aggressiveness of that. I mean, that's a big appeal.
I got into a limbs bin at a good fucking young age, and I was in high school. And when I was started listening to limbs bin, it was like I think it was the same time around that like at a funny fact that they ended up like actually touring together for a bit or
Okay.
whatever I guess. So anyways, Full of Hell and limbs bin like aka Josh like
Hold
the
on.
guy who does
Let
everything.
me grab my dog off the bed. He's about to jump. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Old dog. Sorry. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, so talking about tracks, yeah, no, I actually have a huge enjoyment for 8 tracks morgue, and it was, I think it happened for a while, and then I just like kind of like watched like the recordings and stuff for a bit, I guess. So yeah, no, I actually got a copy of the Dead Body Love and then 8 tracks morgue split. That's it comes with a note.
He's got a lot of, I mean, a lot of shit out there. It's hard to like even go through his library and you can probably listen to something new every day for a long time. And I mean, and then in his other projects and everything else, you got Cranevim and fucking Mortar Machine and Necrophilic. So I mean, but yeah, he's been like a mainstay in like my library. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about I like that eerie vibe to a lot of the noise. That kind of another big appeal. Just like the ones that go for the true crime nature, or either the just the maybe like the insanity, going insane kind of vibe. I mean, that's always been like a big appeal in any kind of music for me. So I just even like the ambient stuff. Like I like a lot of Al Ripper, obviously. I was just listening to his new stuff, and I mean he just always has, especially like Morbid Beauty compilations. It just has a lot of that eerie vibe, but still noisy and still ambient. And, I mean, I like a lot of the ambient stuff that's coming out. I mean, I like. I mean, there ain't much in ambient level. Like as long as it's, I don't know, it's got to be a certain way. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would say no noise being if people like want a noise and ambience, it has to be a perfect good noise blend,
it
you know.
does. If you're gonna, especially like you said, if you're gonna blend it, you gotta. I mean, I've tried it and I'm all right, I think, but I'm nowhere near none of these, dudes that know how to just blend so much sound in together and it just sounds so harmonic and fucking, yeah.
Yeah. Um, like, so basically, when did I do say this word a lot. I'm a little stoned, everybody. Whoever is watching, just like smoke one for me. Everybody smoke one. I think we should maybe do a little smoke break in the middle. So fuck it. Like, I think we should just do one smoke break, do it on camera, and then I'll get back to that question. I gotta stop myself there.
Gotta stay high, man. Keeps the head fucking in a good place, man.
Oh, cheers.
Yo, man. Dog damn. Crazy.
All right, so where did absurd reality actually come and start from?
Well, the idea actually came from it was a philosopher kind of guy from the beatnik early era, Albert Camus. And I don't know, when I first like got into music or doing the noise music, uh, it was like right after my fiance had passed, so it was kind of I was very cynic, or I still kind of am, not too bad anymore, but it just kind of played into what I was feeling at the moment. Everything just kind of seemed absurd, and I don't know. It was a very cynical kind of time, so that just seemed fitting. Yep. But that was pretty much where that came from, and like I said, it just kind of grew into something I could do a little bit more with, and I feel more comfortable doing obviously anymore because it's kind of became my mainstay. Um, yeah.
So, like, for other noise shit like that, there's a lot of other things, but subgenre of noise, that's been going on. You do have other projects, I hear. So,
I do, but it's nothing that I put as much focus in as I do have like goregod. And if my other main project would be Visceral, which I do still do, and obviously I my last release, like big one with that was Death Fetish, which actually took me a while to do, even though it wasn't a long release. It just I don't know. It took a long time to do. The dog's knocking everything over. Sorry. Uh, that was a big project I was happy to do. But as far as that, and then I have goregod, which is not a strong point. I do enjoy doing, but it's just not something that I feel like I'm up to a quality level that I'd like to be, and I don't know if I can get to that level. So we'll see what happens with that one. And then I pretty much just like to do stuff with like ambience and beats, and I don't really. I mean, I kind of just use absurd as for that, but I think eventually maybe like I would like to have like a separate project to do just ambient stuff, like expand on that a little bit. But that's pretty much my current project.
oh, yeah, that's really cool, man. Yeah, I've kind of noticed some of like the imagery and like some of like the subject. The subject matter about like I think it was like those Chicago boys or something like that. They were like I don't know, they either were killers or whatever.
Yeah, that was I did a couple. I like to do probably talk about like the Chicago Ripper Crew.
Yeah, the shock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a group of supposed satanic serial killers, which actually the head guy that Robin Gett, I think was his name. He was actually an employee of John Wayne Gacy, which is obviously killer clown. But they were like a satanic crew that would go around and kidnap women, and most of them they killed them, but they would all mutilate them and like do like strange rituals. But I did like a couple tracks that was based on them, but I would interlace like the interviews and stuff into it, which I do like doing a lot of stuff like that, like putting a lot of like the interview samples and just interviews with different people, not necessarily just killers, but a lot of sex offenders or mental patients, different things, even movies. I mean, I'll put a lot of like movie samples in that. I know a lot of people don't like samples, but I don't know. I feel that if you
It's
can
not
do it
bad.
and it adds a little something extra, and no.
Well, yeah, like I'm mean, like the top those topics are really like really hard for a lot of people like to swallow sometimes. But they really don't understand if like if they think that we're like glorifying something like a subject like that. No, we're just like saying no, or we are saying it's horrible. We're
Yeah, I
basically just
mean, I'm not glorifying. I mean, I probably it probably does seem like that. I mean, it would seem like anybody that does a track or names a project after what a killer or whatever crime, and it does seem like you would. I mean, to I guess maybe anybody looking in on it other than the person that created it, it's gonna look like you're glorifying it because I mean you're obviously giving a little recognition to whatever, and but I mean it really depends on the person. I mean, it's hard to notice it sometimes. I mean, I probably have. I am very fascinated by it, and I mean, I'm not condoning going out and killing people. I mean, not but
it should never be like that far because like when there was a man who like I think it was in a Puerto Rican band or something and shit, and I think he fucking killed some like people or some shit. I don't know what fucking
you're always
happened.
gonna have the edge lords. I mean, some people do it just because it gives not. I don't necessarily want to say gimmick. I mean, because everything's got to have some kind of little like thing that thing that draws you to it. I mean, that's kind of like if you're just a fish among a thousand fish. I mean, you're just gonna be a fish. And you fucking get out there and put a goddamn shark fin on your back, and you're a fucking shark.
Fucking shark. Then I was I kind of started when I was starting as Bone Crave. I started like I listened to a lot of other shit like such as pianos becoming crashing crashes waving piano chords and
Yeah,
then I'm listening to other shit like Shred Nerve and then so on and so forth and it was just like I knew there was more out there and and I was just kind of when I found started at Bone Crate, I didn't know I was gonna go really too deep into like a fucking harsh noise,
yeah,
thing that I was gonna do start doing walls tracks and stuff. But I started having a fascination after listening to a lot of Bummer, listening to a little bit of fucking I don't know who else, Black Leather Jacket. Um
yeah. Well, I mean, I listened to some of your stuff the other day. There's a lot of like I like a lot of the I guess punk style stuff you do. Like I mean, I do like a lot of punk, especially like '90s and early 2000s era kind of hardcore stuff. But I noticed you do a lot of that, and I mean that was good, man. I like that. That was pretty good.
It was an era of like I was okay. For the bands I started, I was in a band called Vile Treasures, and we did a song called Piece of Shit. And my idea was like after I think we recorded, we just fucking jammed it. And after that, I was like, okay, whatever we record, let's fucking write lyrics on it and say whatever we said on there. So it is, but the thing it is, like in my opinion, that song I would say, like I just wanted to kind of do a song that made fun of like hardcore in a punk rock style like three-piece track that almost sounds like an old ass punk track. And I really couldn't really take any fucking people seriously. We really couldn't. We didn't want to. It didn't last long. Everything didn't last long. What I was doing for tracks and stuff. So when I did on my own Bone Crate, um, I got into a lot of interesting ideas of a lot of because there's like things I love is doom metal. The things I love is black metal, things I love is sludge and stuff. So I want to put a lot of different elements and shit. But the thing
Yeah,
is, people are like, why are you like covering all bases? And I'd be like, I'm not trying to be a picky, or I'm not trying to do this for money, fame, or whatever. This is for like the enjoyment of sound production and sound design and doing whatever the fuck you want with stuff. And like I've done some insane stuff. And when I'm doing beats too, like
yeah.
if people can understand it too, that like I do both
Yeah,
noise
I mean,
beats and
there are
fucking
people that understand. I mean, especially like a lot of the, I guess, newer talent that's coming out. They like to do a lot of, mixing more hip hop and, or not necessarily hip hop, but just stuff with beats and got more rhythm to it and stuff that like kind of are more accepting of different stuff, I guess. But yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. Uh, so for like for the music for any there's actually anything that you've been like hearing out there that literally I don't know. Do you ever watch any of those cringe videos where like they show like the worst music?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm listening to pretty much anything that comes across that I found one. It's an older project or whatever you want to call it from the '80s, but it's a guy that's crushing metal in like a fucking hydraulic press, and it's just that's pretty much it. It's called what the fuck was it? Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm sitting here on YouTube. I, I know it's not necessarily new, but you ever listen to Skin? It's kind of they do a lot of like they name all the shit after like different either killers or just stuff that's happened. But it's a female singer and they do like more ambient kind of rap style stuff. But they
Never
always
heard it.
do. They got stuff after like Armin Mines and
Okay.
Columbine and stuff like that. But I mean, I listen to a lot of like shout out again to God Knows God. I mean, he does a lot of different stuff. I mean, it's noise, but it's all fucking I don't know. He stays so busy putting stuff out, it gives you something constantly, and he's always got a quality level that I don't know. I find is up pretty high. So I mean, and then Decaying World. Obviously Distraxy, there's a Gore Noise project. Chick out of Columbia, California. Sorry, uh, PV PXVBR is like some blast Gore Noise, short tracks, but straight to the point.
Yeah.
A lot of Al Ripper, Morbid Beauty. Uh, it's all over the place. I mean, I try to look for new stuff every day, even if I don't accomplish that. But, oh,
I mean,
there's a lot of good stuff going around, man. You just gotta look around for it. Yeah, I mean, if you looking around and kind of just don't just stay in one little area, I mean, you'll find something
yeah,
good.
yeah, don't stay in one place.
Yeah, I
I've been
mean, that's
telling
the
people to do it.
that's the whole point of just type of music, man. Try new things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people don't like change sometimes, and it's just like it kind of bothers me, and it's like,
well, I think a lot of people always put like change is a negative thing. Like if it changes, it's the fear of something that you're not comfortable with at that moment. So I mean, it takes a level of trying. It's not always the easy thing to go out and find something new or to give something else a chance to open the mind up a little bit or whatever.
yeah, open your mind a little bit, sometimes. Uh, People have called it meditation. My friend actually has called it meditation. And because like I think he was like willing to master serrated bone fracture, and it was supposed to be a little bit more mastered better. So, and he said because there was a lot of stuff on there that sounded a lot of had meditative parts. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like I was really just fucking around that whole time. I did not know like too much else about I wasn't really updated on noise for a bit, and then I
Yeah,
got back in, and then I kind of I still do like the same stuff, but I would love to do more like open up like realms. I would actually start getting more like the real stuff, and even like to start getting set up. Like I would love. I just would need to get an amp and all, but I don't even have that stuff yet.
yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough that up until a certain point, I did everything digitally on whatever I could do either on my laptop or on my phone. Had no gear, none of the actual stuff that people like to use. I mean, honestly, I think you can do a lot of not good stuff on just apps and
And I
samples and whatever. I mean, a lot of people don't have the money to go out and buy fucking. Like I said, I was lucky enough that somebody was cool enough to send me some shit, and that's pretty much still what I use, other than maybe one or two things I had bought. But I mean, so I mean that was a big help for me. But yeah, I mean, people can do. I think people put too much emphasis on that too. I mean, like if you're not using
that's
a certain style if you're not using like an actual pedal or effects board or what have you, like you're not really a noise artist. I mean, I understand the kind of point of view, but then again, I mean, it is if you can make good music with whatever. I mean, that's once again the whole experimental type thing. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
I haven't played any shows yet, and there is like I have ideas. I want to play with some of the artists that I have been following or have been following me since
Yeah,
day one. I think like fucking, it's really insane how many people actually still fuck with me. And there's so many people I've been meeting over the years too. It's it's incredible. it's a good journey, and it's also like a good learning experience. And I've like listened to a lot of new stuff that I really enjoy. Like it doesn't get any better than this, in my opinion, for like what's out there and what I what I do, what I want to have planned. I would say is just to make sure I keep busy, but I'm
Yeah,
also like kind of need to let loose a little bit here and there.
yeah. I mean, I've never done anything live myself, so I mean, I understand that. I think that's why I do a lot of the live streaming because I just like I don't know. It feels about as live as I can get because I mean, there's like no electronic scene right here. There's people that's into it, but either they're not like doing anything themselves or like wanting to put the extra time in. They either got I mean, which I understand because a lot of people this age have families and everything else. So, but um,
What do you think of the digital age of putting on shows and at their home and putting it on Bandcamp?
yeah, I haven't really checked out too much of the live stuff on Bandcamp, but I mean, there is a whole like I mean digital thing that I mean you got a much wider audience, obviously. I mean, so that's always you're reaching more people, which is if you can find more people that are interested in your stuff, I mean that's awesome. It's always a good thing. But uh, yeah, that's definitely something I enjoy doing as far as just like on here or I do it on YouTube. Just go on there and
Yeah.
just jam. I mean, not necessarily have a set agenda, just going in, just something to do. And someone else can enjoy it. Hell yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah,
Yeah, YouTube has grown since. Yeah, it's grown. It's grown a lot more now. Before we do go a little bit here and here, what I was I even gonna ask? Holy shit! Man, maybe I need a thinker. Uh, Before I go, I'll do a little. I'm gonna be doing a little promo. So I'm gonna be doing some more stuff this month, sometime this month. There's gonna be an episode with Bong Cloud. We were supposed to be doing this on Monday live. There was just a lot of interest, lack of communication, but there's no, it's no one's fault. It's just stuff happens,
yeah,
whatnot. Um, but we have episodes with um a great schedule, and I'll be putting it right after the show on the story on IG, and y'all can check it out. Um,
okay.
what I was gonna say was what was your other thing that was like really big away from like harsh stuff, and that was actually but did still have like a lot of darkness in it.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, man. You was like glitching up on me.
Oh shit. What do you really think about some of the less harsh stuff, but that is still dark and it has a lot of like melodic stuff to it. But what are the musicians that actually you think, but like and it's something that you wouldn't do.
I enjoy doing it. Yes. Obviously, I mean, I try to do a little bit more here and there, especially here lately. I've done a little more ambient style stuff, and so I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely something I enjoy doing and would like to do more of. So
Go all your comfort zone and stuff. Yeah, that's
yeah,
really good to hear.
exactly. I mean, it's a good thing to step out the comfort zone. I mean, that's how you find new things. So,
Um, oh, fucking, I think we should go to like end this with wrestling questions, some fucking wrestling fucking talk. Here, so with the things like what you remember with wrestling growing up, like you went to Aaron, did you like grow up around wrestling again?
Say that one more
And
time.
what era of wrestling did you grow up in? And
Okay. Well, when I actually started like really noticing it, it was probably around early '90s, mid '90s, and I think the first one that like really the first wrestler that caught my attention was obviously probably the Undertaker, and then I mean that was in the early days of the Undertaker, and then I got in that was like the big era for me was like when it was Stone Cold Steve Austin and like the early Rock and fucking I mean that was probably I mean that was my era that I really paid attention to what was going on and was like a real fan of like a real hardcore fan. So
yeah,
yeah.
wrestling was really still in a place where like anything could happen. Um, I remember like how many fucking shocking, weird ass fucking cameos of different like celebrities on there and stuff. Especially um
Yeah, like David Arquette and fucking I think ICP was in what WCW for a while, or it might have been WWE. Yeah, them going out there once in a while. They would like fucking try to do a little wrestling, but they was just
your Diamond Dallas Page track. I gotta be honest, like I loved what you wanted to. You told me you're a Diamond Dallas Page fan. I was like fucking so happy about that actually. So I mean, if I did have like more people who were interested, I'd be like, okay, I'd be fine. But so then we got to it, and everybody submitted their tracks and stuff, and I think you got your tracks in and stuff, and yeah, no, but
yeah, I
there's
definitely
gonna be
enjoy doing that, man. If you ever do another anything more with that, I'd definitely be happy
yeah
to
for
help out.
next year we're gonna be doing. I'm thinking we're gonna be doing tapes or something. We might be doing something more, bigger than that, whatever. Do you have more stuff future plan releases with Absurd Reality or
Um,
any project?
well, I'm thinking of taking like staying with Absurd, doing more with that, expanding on that. No real ideas yet. At the moment, I'm doing some split work. I'm waiting on a couple people to like make a decision, and then I'm obviously doing another uh, split with Maggot Grave. This would be like the fourth or either fifth one I've done with him. A good guy out of Belgium. Um, but I always he does good stuff. You should check him out. But that's about it right now. Ain't really got no plans as far as kind of open minded, seeing what happens. So,
Hey, hey, man.
but I appreciate this, man. It was I, I appreciate the interview.
Right, everybody go check out Absurd Reality on Bandcamp. You can go check out any of his releases. You have many splits. You have splits with God Knows God and a good co-collaborator with when I put on this great wrestling compilation. I was really happy, really excited and glad to put out a new one next year. I'm really hoping to put the first one on tape eventually to to on some label. If any label out there can hit me up, message DM me and the fucking on Bone Crate dot create or whatever. Anybody fucking whoever's watching.
That's it.
But yeah, expect Bone Crate and fucking Episode Reality split in the future.
Hit me up about it. All right, man.
All right. All right. Trust in the wall.
That's it, man. The wall will set you free. All right, dude.
Cheers.
Cheers.